So, you're thinking about a trip to Australia, but you've only got a week. I get it. You look at the map and think, how on earth am I supposed to see a country that's practically a continent in just 7 days? It feels impossible. But don't you worry, because we've got you covered. We've figured out the perfect plan to make sure you experience the absolute best of it.
Right? 7 days. Where do you even begin? Do you stick to the cities, try to see the outback? What about all those famous beaches? It's that classic, where do I even start feeling that hits pretty much every first-time visitor the second they realize just how massive Australia really is.
Okay, just to give you an idea of what we're dealing with here, Australia is almost the exact same size as the continental US. Now imagine trying to see New York City, the Grand Canyon, and Los Angeles all in 1 week. It sounds kind of crazy, right? Well, that's the scale we're talking about, and it's exactly why so many people's trip plans go sideways.
And that right there is the #1 mistake people make. They try to see it all. And trust me, that just leads to total burnout. You end up spending half your vacation in airports, and the whole thing feels more like a frantic race than an actual, vacation. To really enjoy Australia in just a week, you've got to be smart and selective.
But here is the really good news. There is a solution. We've got the expert-approved itinerary that's designed to give you those massive, iconic Australian experiences without all the exhaustion. This is how you squeeze every last drop of awesome out of your 7 days.
So, what's the big secret? We call it the East Coast Classic. And it's brilliant because it focuses on 2 of Australia's absolute biggest can't-miss highlights. It gives you this perfect blend of world-famous city life and just jaw-dropping natural beauty. For a short trip, it's for sure the way to go.
It's actually super simple, and it breaks down into 2 amazing parts. First, you're going to dive headfirst into the incredible energy of Sydney. Then, you hop on a short flight north to experience one of the true natural wonders of the entire planet, the Great Barrier Reef. It's the perfect 1-2 punch. All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. What does this week actually look like on the ground? Let's run through a quick, high-energy preview of how your amazing adventure is going to play out.
You're going to kick things off with 2 days just soaking up Sydney's iconic vibes. You'll see the Opera House, of course, and do that absolutely stunning coastal walk from Bondi to Coogee. On day 3, you escape the city for the incredible hazy blue views of the Blue Mountains. Then it's time to fly north to Cairns for the main event, a full day out on the Great Barrier Reef, snorkeling or diving. It's unreal. And to wrap it all up, you'll explore the ancient Daintree Rainforest before heading home. See? It's packed with highlights but perfectly paced so you can actually enjoy it.
Okay, so your bags are practically packed in your mind, right? But hold on, before you go clicking book on anything, there are a few essential things you absolutely have to know to make sure this trip goes off without a hitch. Let's talk logistics.
First things first, and this is a big one. When should you go? Getting the timing right can make a huge difference in your trip, from the weather and the crowds to even how much you'll pay.
The magic window, the absolute sweet spot, is during Australia's shoulder seasons. That's their autumn, from March to May, and their spring, from September to November. The weather's fantastic, there are way fewer people, and prices are lower. Summer is peak season, which means it's super hot, really crowded, and definitely more expensive. So, yeah, pretty much everyone agrees. If you can, aim for those shoulder seasons. Avoiding that peak summer heat and the massive crowds just makes the entire experience so much more pleasant. It's a real game changer.
All right, let's talk about the thing we all think about. Money. Australia has a reputation for being a bit pricey, so what's a realistic budget for a 1-week trip like this?
Let's start small. Coffee. Aussies are serious about their coffee. And a really, really good one, like a proper flat white, is going to run you about $5 Australian.
And for a good meal out, at a decent pub or a casual restaurant, you should plan on spending around $30. That gives you a pretty good baseline for your daily food costs.
So when you add it all up for a comfortable mid-range trip, we're talking hotels, food, your tours, and that super important domestic flight to Cairns, a good rule of thumb is to budget around 2,500 Australian dollars per person, and just a heads up, that doesn't include your big international flight to get there.
Okay, last thing. And honestly, this might be the most critical piece of advice in this whole explainer. We all hear the jokes about the spiders and the snakes in Australia, right? But the real danger, the one every single visitor needs to know about, is something else entirely. So what's the #1 safety tip?
It's this super simple but honestly life-saving Aussie mantra. Slip, slop, slap. That's slip on a shirt, slop on sunscreen, and slap on a hat. I'm not kidding, the UV index down there is extreme. It's way, way stronger than in the Northern Hemisphere.
Sun protection is completely non-negotiable.
Okay, so let's do a super quick recap. Your 7-day game plan is focus on the East Coast, Sydney and the Great Barrier Reef, go during the shoulder seasons, spring or autumn, budget around 2,500 Aussie dollars per person, and never, ever, ever forget your sun protection. Oh, and one last pro tip for you, book that Great Barrier Reef tour way ahead of time. Seriously, they sell out fast.
And there you have it. With a plan like this, you're not just going to see Australia, you're going to experience the absolute best of it in a smart, fun, and totally unforgettable way. The only question left is, when are you packing your bags? Welcome to the land down under, mate.